Good evening and welcome to our 9 p.m. English news brought to you live by RTD. Here are the top story. Health orthopedic theatre of Peltier Hospital offer modern care technique. Iraq, Baghdad declared the end of the Caliphate of the Islamic State. That was the headline, and now the national news.
On the occasion of the 40th anniversary of the accession of the independence of our country, the Embassy of the Republic in Somalia has organized the enclosure of diplomatic representation of a ceremony which was attended by many civil and military personalities in Somalia, including the President of the Upper House, Ahmed Abdi Hashi Abdullahi, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Garad Omar, and also the Minister of Finance, Abdurrahman Douale Bailey, and the Minister of Youth and Sport, Khadija Mohammed Duriye, and several members of the government. The Upper House and the Parliament, as well as the Governor of Banadr region and Mayor of Mogadishu, Tabit Abdi Mohammed, were also present at this reception. Representative of civil society and diplomat of the country's friend of Somalia accredited to Mogadishu. And this ceremony, which also took part the officers of the contingent Hill Walal assigned to the headquarters of the AMISOM, started by the national anthem of Djibouti played by the fanfare of the Somali army. Then poems and patriotic songs recounting the struggle of their brothers of Djibouti for their independence and also the fraternal relation existing between the two countries have been interpreted by the famous musical troupe Wabari Somali. After the cultural entertainment, the ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti in Somalia, Adan Hassan Adan, delivered a speech in which he thanked all of the Somali leaders and diplomats present at this ceremony of commemoration of the independence of Djibouti. The Republic of Djibouti will now have acceded to its independence to celebrate today its 40th anniversary without the unwavering support of the Somalis, he said. Taking the floor in turn, the President of the Upper House of Somalia, Abdi Hashi Abdullahi, congratulated the government, both the government and people of Djibouti, declaring shared joy in this day of celebration of their independence. For us Somalis, he said, Djibouti is our second homeland and a brother country of which we are proud of the progress it has achieved during the 40 years of its independence, he concluded.
The ambassador of the Arab Republic of Egypt, Mr. Ahmed Abdel Subih, has organized yesterday evening in his residence a subterraneous reception marking the 65th anniversary of the Glorious Revolution of 23rd July 1952. The festival, which were held in the garden of the residence of the ambassador, have met the Minister of the Housing, the Planning and the Environment, who has represented the Prime Minister. He has opportunity Dr. Musa Ahmed and the Minister of Higher Education and Research, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, as well as several prompts, as well as members of the Egyptian community. Have attended this annual reception the member of the Arabic Diplomat Corps and alien, the representative of the international and regional organization, but also the military leaders of the army force in Djibouti and the Navy discussed the rating of Djibouti and foreign troops stationed in Djibouti. The ambassador of Egypt in Djibouti was surrounded by the closest to the diplomatic mission Egyptian women in our country to host the prompts to those who submitted their congratulations to the ambassador of Egypt in Djibouti on the occasion of the national feast of his country. This opportunity has been animated after the national anthem of Djibouti and Egyptian citizens by a troupe of Egyptian Academy of the Art has through song and dance of Egyptian women. The ambassador of Egypt in Djibouti, Mr. Ahmed Ibn Subhan, has delivered a brief speech in which he has inculcated the links, privilege, friendship and cooperation between his country and ours. The Egyptian diplomat has emphasized the glorious revolution of 23rd January, which he said, which is the national objective he has enabled beginning of ambitiously of the Egyptian people of self-determination and support. He has become the only legitimate source of power. In addition, the ambassador Ahmed recalled the will Egyptian people to go forward, and despite the many criticisms that has shaken the country. The Egyptian ambassador also thanks the Republic of Djibouti for its support in favor of recovering in Egypt, which is in the African Union.
Still on the national news, the Minister of the Housing, the Planning and the Environment, who has represented the Prime Minister to this opportunity, Dr. Musa Mohammed Ahmed, has expressed in his intervention its thanks and gratitude to the Ambassador of Egypt for the warm welcome, and also its congratulations on the occasion of the celebration of its country's of the 65th anniversary of the revolution of the Egypt, 23 July. He focused on the depths of the fraternal relation which exists between the Republic of Djibouti and also the Arab Republic of Egypt in various areas under the leadership of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, and also the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Minister of the Environment has spoke briefly its effort during the period where the position of the Ambassador to the Republic of Djibouti in the Egypt and also the permanent representative to the Arab League. At the end, he also welcomed the effort undertaken by the Ambassador of Egypt in Djibouti to promote joint cooperation between Djibouti and the Cairo.
The orthopedic surgery is a specialist who deals essential disease and bone joints, tendons, ligaments and nerves of the members. It is entails more often to take in charge of the trauma. The operation took of orthopedic in the hospital Peltier is a surgery unity which deals with the trauma relating to the fracture, rupture, hemorrhaging, bone joint, ligaments, tendons and muscle. In this story, you spot in particular of practice well known the public. Patients are hospitalized in operation block in the hospital of Peltier and benefit from technical care of modern material. For this unit, it has an operating block of the technical orthopedic who practice any type of operation linked to the trauma of fracture, rupture, bone joint, ligaments. Such an accident for the malformation represented always a difficult event. This unit has been developed thanks to the Minister of Health.
The celebration of the 40th anniversary was also held in the sub-prefecture of the region of the interior. It is as well as a great ceremony of the 40th anniversary that took place in Molod, in the presence of the population of Molod and also surrounding communities. The musical and cultural groups were all present on the occasion of the 40th anniversary, organized by the parliamentarians of the sector in collaboration with the sub-prefecture. The sub-prefect of Molod, Mr. Omar Abdullah Hussein, and the local elected and elements of the force were all present. Different honors have also participated in these festivities of the 40th anniversaries, including a representative of the Minister Delegate in charge of the decentralization, Mr. Suge Barre. At midnight, the flag has been lifted with the sound of the national anthem. Parliamentarians and the military and also civilian officials have welcomed the lifting of the flag. Musical cultural groups were performing a very impressive traditional dance and also the folk.
It is with great sadness to inform the death of the late Musa Ibrahim Waberi, aged 41. The deceased was born in Djibouti in 1975 and he works in ADD. The deceased left behind his widow and 2 children. Thus the Almighty God welcome him in his eternal paradise. Inna Allahu wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
And now let us move to the international news. The Iraqi authorities and the international coalition led by the United States argue that the full release of Mosul is imminent, and also is more than a matter of days. The last of the men of the Islamic State group are besieged in a territory of a square kilometer in the old city. After the resumption of the Mosque al-Nouri, the Prime Minister of Iraq has declared the end of the caliphate, which had been proclaimed there has been almost 3 years by the terrorist organization. The advance of the Iraqi forces is difficult because the jihadis are involved in the population and have including use of snipers and also suicide bombers. They do not control more than 40% of the whole city, barely 1% of the total area of Mosul. The civilians are still caught in the trap lack of water, food and medicines. The special forces in Iraq have resumed last week the Mosque al-Nouri during a flash operation. That's it for tonight's news. Thanks for your attention and have a wonderful evening.